It's Tuesday, the 10th of July, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Jinshin Jitsu, safety energy lock number 10 came into the universe meaning air, the outpouring of limitless life power. Now, safety energy lock number 10 is located between the shoulder blade and the spine, about halfway along the shoulder blade. So it's sort of at the back, directly opposite here. And safety energy lock number 10 is directly opposite safety energy lock number 13. And together they govern the health of this bust line or the chest, also associated with the heart chakra. So the front of the body is generally the receptive side, and the back of the body is associated with the doing. So the front of the body is, the front of this heart chakra area is about opening and being receptive. And the back of the heart chakra, where safety energy lock number 10 is located, is about how you carry that out into the world. But it's also a certain amount of receptivity because it's the outpouring of limitless life power and it's air. So through the breath, we are connected to the outpouring of limitless life power. And when we maintain that connection to our essence and we can keep this chest area open, then we are able to have this limitless life power pouring out of us and touching the lives of others. So safety energy lock number 10 is also known as the warehouse of abundance, because when you feel like you're disconnected from this outpouring of limitless abundance, then you are exhausted and you feel depleted and it becomes empty. So if you find yourself focusing on all the not enoughs in your life, where you are not enough, where you don't have enough resources, where you don't have enough time, where you don't have enough energy, then you want to be working on opening safety energy lock number 10, because when you do that, you reconnect yourself to the actual life force which we take in through our breath. Basically, if we stop breathing, we die, right? So you open up that channel again so that you can connect yourself to this abundant life source. And once you replenish yourself, then you have enough energy to take out into the world. So 10 is a 1, of course, and 1 is the initiator. It is the inspirer. It's the one that wants to get things going. So yesterday, those of you who watched yesterday, we had that life map full of 9s. And 9 is about ending an old cycle in order to start something new. So 1 is the beginning of the new. So whatever it is that you transformed or worked with yesterday, today is the day that you can actually take that and use it to initiate a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way of doing. It could be something as physical as a new project, a new idea, or just a new way of looking at the world, or a new habit, basically, that you want to introduce today. So 1, as I said, is inspiring. 1 is an extroverted number. 1 is the one that gets everybody else on board. 1 is the one that talks and connects and has ideas and analyzes and thinks. It's a number associated with the intellect. It's very much in the head. We have, of course, remember in July, the day number and the euro number is the same every day. So the euro today is also a 1, which amplifies this energy of the 1. So when we have 1 in the euro position, then we are whole. We experience the wholeness of who we are. We see the wholeness in other people. We can say, I am enough. We can accept that things are as they are, and we are enough in whatever situation we may find ourselves. We can have a lot of confidence when we connect to this number, and that confidence can be true inner confidence that comes from a place of wisdom, and not necessarily from having to put on that mask, that persona of this is my confident extroverted persona. So if we can connect to that energy of the euro, it will intensify the 1 energy in the day number as well, and we can really we can have the confidence to step into that new way of being or doing, because we are enough. Very often we get stopped, or we stop ourselves from doing new things or moving into the future because we want it to be perfect before we can initiate it. So for example, if I want to teach a new workshop, right? I want the manual to be perfect. I want the recipes I want it to be perfect. I want to make sure that I've got all the information that is absolutely required. I want it to be perfect for everybody. I want to make sure I've left nothing out, that no stone has been left unturned. And in doing that, it takes so long, it's never going to be perfect, right? And so that needing to make it perfect before you can actually take it into the world, that's what keeps you from actually doing it. And sometimes that's just an excuse. And the needing it to be perfect is because we feel like we are not complete. I'm not enough, therefore my manual or my workshop, for example, is not enough. So today we really have the ability to connect to this energy of being enough. And we can open safety energy lock number 10 by holding what's called the high 19. I've got a very dark top on, so I don't know if you can see. So halfway between the elbow and the shoulder, if you hold your upper arm, then you are holding what is called the high 19, safety energy lock high 19. And when you open high 19, it opens 13 in the front and 10 in the back of the chest. And 19 is a 1 that says, I take authority for my own connection to the limitless abundance that is available to me. And I take responsibility for connecting myself to that. I'm not sitting around passively waiting for, I don't know, the unicorn to come and save me, right? Sorry for all you unicorn lovers out there. Right, so we've got the 1 of the day number and we're 1 in the hero. So today is about I am the one, I am enough, I am, and that is enough. We've of course got the 7 from July, and 7 is the one that asks the big questions. Why am I here? What is the point of it all? What is my purpose? So your purpose, in my opinion, is to be the most integrated version of yourself, the most authentic version of yourself. Because when you are who you really are, then that's what you show the world, and you allow everyone else to be who they really are. And at the end of the day, we all want to be loved for who we really are. Problem is, we think that who we really are is not good enough. So that's why we put on the masks. We put on all those personas. We become who we think we need to be in order to fit in or to be loved or to be accepted. Your purpose is to be who you are. And you are who you are right now. So you are on purpose. 7 is an introverted number. So there might be a bit of tension today. 1 loves to be in the limelight and says, look at me, here I am. I'm enough. All right. 7 is like, please don't look at me. I'm just going to be doing my little thing here in the background, and don't shine the spotlight on me because I don't want to be mortified. I don't want to be put on the spot. I don't want to be illuminated. All right. I want to go and do the introspection. So there might be some tension today between this wanting to get out into the world or needing to get out into the world and actually wanting to introvert. That might be a problem for many of us, especially those of us who've got 7s in our life maps who are naturally introverts, that we want to actually just get back under the duvet and stay there for the rest of the day and not actually have to get out there into the world. So that tension might exist today. You can create pockets of alone time or me time for you. So whatever it is that restores or regenerates you, do make 5 minutes, set aside 5 minutes once or twice during the day just to do some deep breathing or some stretching or some meditating, or just to actually sit and appreciate the trees in your garden, or look out the window and appreciate how beautiful nature is out there. Anything that's going to help you restore and regenerate and get that feeling of like being in your bubble. So you can get into your bubble during periods of the day, and then you can get out of it so that you can connect to other people and get things going. We've of course got the 2 from 2018, which helps us to connect to our emotions, because the 1s are very, very much in the head, right? 7s and 2s are more in the emotions. So we have, again, today we might have a tension between wanting to like be the ideas person and rationalizing everything, and not actually feeling it. And that can cause us to, if we've been doing a lot of suppression of the emotions, it can cause us to actually have an outburst of emotions. So best you allow those emotions to be there and to feel them so that you can avoid the pressure cooker blowing its top. The villain of today is a 2. So this is particularly important in light of what I've just said, because when we have 2 in the villain, then we become insensitive to our own emotions as well as the feelings of others. So we can become insensitive towards other people, or we can become blunted to our own feelings, and therefore that's how we become blunted to the feelings of others. So we can maybe like bludgeon forth, I don't know if that's the right. we can advance, and we can maybe trample people's feelings because we're not taking them into account, because the 1 wants to move forward. Remember, we also can be cut off from our own emotions. And remember, feelings that have not been felt, they become unconscious. They are no longer conscious. You're not aware of having them, so they become unconscious, and those go deep into the sort of shadow side, and they then sabotage us, usually through behaviors that we don't recognize as being from that emotion. Luckily, we have Jinshin Jitsu, of course, as always, to help us. So you can hold your high 19. If you hold it for 20 minutes, it takes 20 minutes for the energy to circulate through all the flow patterns, through all the safety energy locks, through all the meridians and all the chakras in the body. Or you can hold the index finger. The index finger harmonizes, just make sure that that's right, yes. The index finger harmonizes the bladder and kidney organ function energy. It harmonizes subconscious fear, those subconscious fears of not being good enough. When we hold our index finger, it helps to harmonize those. It helps us to eliminate. It helps us to eliminate those perceptions. It helps us to not just actually eliminate, it helps us to bring it out of the shadow and into the light so that we can actually become aware of it. And when we do that, then the fear is no longer there, and it's obviously no longer subconscious. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.